Hey guys, it's Sid and it's been a long time. I've been traveling the world. I went to college, dropped out of college, going to a different college now, and I haven't been on my channel in a really long time. I actually looked at my channel recently and I noticed that this video, because I've made this video before, this video was taken down, and I was gonna remake it anyway because so much has changed in just like my dance career and like everything that went down. I felt like more needed to be shared, so since it was taken down, I don't know why, thanks YouTube, I'm just gonna remake it. Okay, this all kind of starts back in like 8th grade, so like take it back. I remember I was watching Dance Moms and Dance Academy, and I was like, something switched inside me, and I knew that that is something that I wanted to do. It was just something that so inspired me and was so beautiful to me, and I was like, well, why can't I do that? So I remember looking up on the internet. I took like a full couple hours, and I was like looking up on the internet trying to find like studios near me, and I was calling them and I was emailing them, and I was like making sure that I was gonna find somewhere like ASAP because I knew that that was like my passion. One day I couldn't care less. The next day I was like, this is something I need to do now. So I found somewhere. It was 45 minutes away from my house, but my mom could tell that this was a little bit different than everything else I've ever wanted to do. She could tell that I almost had like some sort of a desperation. So she was like, okay. So she drove me like 45 minutes once a week to this studio, and it was an adult ballet class. So there is me, I was like 14 years old, and then there was a bunch of like people in their 30s, and then there was maybe like 2 other girls who were like in their late like teens who would always like kind of glare at me. They were so mean. And I didn't even think about that. They were so mean. They would just look at me and they were so horrible. Also, another thing that I did is I would write down like different stretches and different workouts that I found online, because that's literally all I would have done, and I would do them every single morning and every single night. I was very determined. I don't think I've ever been more determined about something in my entire life. Moving on. So I realized that I wanted to take more classes, and my mom wasn't willing to drive 45 minutes there and 45 minutes back more than once a week, which is understandable. So we found another studio which was near my house, but it wasn't for like late starters. So I remember walking by the studio, and I remember, oh my gosh, I remember looking in, and I remember seeing these girls who were my age, and they were doing this like next level, like super good dance with like these strings and like the balls at the end. It was like some sort of contemporary thing. It was so good, and I was so like in over my head. I was like, what have I done? And I walked inside and I took a test class. It was like a technique class with those same girls. And so these girls, it was like all of them and me. So we would like line up to go across the floor at some points, and I didn't know how to do anything. Like, I just want y'all to know, like, I had taken maybe a month of ballet, and so we went across the floor, and I didn't know how to do pirouettes, and we were doing pirouettes, and these girls were doing like 4 pirouettes, and I would like turn the other way. It's so funny because I just can't believe that that was me. But yeah, I did that, and I remember sitting down and watching them do their recital dance, because it was maybe like 2 months before recital, so everyone had finished their recital dances, and they did this recital dance with the technique class, and it was like to this Lady Gaga song, and it started off like rah rah and I was so obsessed. I was like, this is the best dance ever. And I remember being in the front at one point. Like I remember being in the back the whole dance, but then I also remember like at one point we walked in a circle, and I like got to be in the front for like a split second, and I was so excited. So anyways, recital rolls around. I had an amazing time, and then recital's over. And so everyone is done. And I remember walking up to my teacher, and I basically walked up to her and I was like so nervous. I was like, "Hi, I love dance and I love doing everything like that. Can I please like try out for your competition team, or just be on the, you know, a competition team or something like that?" And I was so nervous. What the frick? I can't believe I freaking had the audacity to do that. And she was like, "Sure." She was so nice. I'm so indebted to that. She was like, "Sure, like, of course you can come to auditions." So I came to auditions. Turns out I was too old for auditions. At this point, I remember coming to auditions and they were like, "Oh, how old are you?" And I said I was like 14 or something. And they're like, "Oh yeah, you're on the competition like teen thing." So they just sent me right back out the door. I never even auditioned. And I was on the competition team. And I was legit in tears. I don't think they realized how much that impacted me. And it was a really good day. So obviously it was the weakest link. I was the weakest link for probably a couple years. I mean, you have to imagine, I started from nothing, and then in the course of like 3 months, I'm all of a sudden on a competition team, and I'm around these girls who've been dancing their whole life. And not only that, but they were kind of like the popular girls in like, so they weren't very, like I was very shy. I'm trying to word this. So I was really shy, and they had known each other their whole lives too. So I was kind of like, I didn't really have any friends for like a good year and a half, and I would kind of just come to class and I wouldn't even speak. I wouldn't even talk, and then I'd leave. But I think it's funny now, but I don't think they realized that I was like gonna stay. They probably thought I was like some girl who would like come for like a year and like leave. But I was like, no, this is my life now. So I would take multiple classes a week, and I still would do every single morning workout, every single night workout. And I really think it's true when people say, like, when you set your mind to something, you can do it. Because how do I put this? I worked so hard, and I got everything that I worked for. And I think that it is true what they say. But moving on, my day-to-day life would be, I would wake up, I would do my school. I was homeschooled, so I would do my school. I would work out and stretch, mostly stretch, and I would mostly work out my feet. And then I would probably wait a couple hours, and then I would go to dance class for like 4 hours or even 5 hours. And then I would come home and I would stretch and I would work out and I would go to bed. And that was me every day. I was crazy about this. Like, I know that the best freaking food for dancers is salmon. I made sure my foods were like very good. I made sure I was eating right. Yeah, I was obsessed. I had years where I lived out my dream, and I was beyond excited and beyond happy. I didn't even care that no one was my friend. I really didn't, because I was just having so much fun. I think there's something so special about dance, because every single time you go to dance is something completely new. When you go, you know, you learn a different combo or you learn something else. Like, I can't even explain. It all worked out in my last few years of dancing. I got to work with a reality TV show, Dance Moms, which was the reason I started dancing in the first place. So when I think about it, kind of going full circle from them inspiring me and then me working, you know, with the competition that they would go to and working with them, sometimes I just can't believe that, you know, that's like my life. I also got to be team captain for, you know, a couple years, and that was exciting. And now I'm a dance teacher, and I teach at the place that I went to school. I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you really enjoyed this story. I hope it was inspirational, or at least made you feel like at least you can, take a chance, do something, If you have any questions, just let me know. I am always here to let you guys know that you're not alone in your feelings of doubt and your feelings of confusion and being just overwhelmed and kind of scared about, starting dance. So just let me know, and bye!